Hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle Ferré and I'm a 4th grade teacher in Maryland. Today's video is going to be a plan with me. So grab yourself a snack or a cup of coffee or even your own teacher planner, and I'm gonna be mapping out my first week of teaching, which I am teaching virtually, so it should be interesting. Now, before I, flip the camera around and show you my planner, I do want to talk a little bit about the planner because I'm sure I will get a bunch of questions. I am digitally planning. I have been digitally planning for a couple of years now, and I really, really like it. Honestly, I feel like if you've been on the fence with digital planning, this is the year to go ahead and switch because everything is being made digital anyway. I'm going to be using the digital teacher planner that Bridget from The Letter Classroom and I have created together. We are so excited for it and we love it so much. So if you are interested in grabbing your own copy of the planner, links are down in the description box. We do have a few different versions. I'm going to be showing the PDF version using my iPad. I'm using a 9.7-inch iPad, an Apple Pencil, and the app GoodNotes. However, if you prefer to type your lesson plans on a computer, we do have a Google Slides version available as well. We also both have tutorial videos coming. Bridget is going to do a tutorial of the PDF version, which you can use on an iPad or a tablet. I'm going to be doing the tutorial for the Google Slides version, which you can do on a computer or a tablet. So just wait, that video is coming, I promise. But for this video, I really just want to talk through my first week of school plans. All right, in hindsight, probably should have painted my nails so they looked better. Just ignore that, please. You all know how crazy the beginning of the school year is. So when you open up the planner, this is what it looks like. Now, I am planning in September, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on September, and that's gonna take me to my month. So I'm actually recording this right now on Friday the 4th, but this is my first week of school. So I'm gonna go ahead and click over here on the week. It will take me to that week. I've already put in my stickers from the month. I just copy those over. So first day of school, Tuesday, and then we do have back to school night on Wednesday. Monday is Labor Day, so we do not have school. I already put these weekly stickers in because I'm gonna be planning Block 1 math. Originally, I thought it was only teaching science, but I'm actually teaching science and social studies, so I will have to fix that. And then Block 2 math. However, for the first week of school, it's gonna be a little bit different. We're not necessarily going to have math blocks and science blocks. In fact, I do not plan on touching anything content related until the second week, especially because I do not know these kids and I'm meeting them for the first time through a screen. My entire first week is just gonna be focused on getting to know them. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my edit toolbar and I'm gonna use the lasso tool. I definitely am not gonna be having Block 1 math all week. I'm gonna go ahead and lasso those and then click and delete. And then I'm not teaching science at all, so I'm going to delete those. Block 2 math, we actually are gonna get to Block 2 math later in the week, just kind of a mock switch so that the kids know what it will be like, but I will not need that on Wednesday. So now let's go ahead and use my Zoom tool to come over to Tuesday. So I'm just gonna kind of have it in a line. I'm not gonna really chunk stuff out by time because I don't know about you all, but I feel like I always plan things to take a certain amount of time and then it doesn't take that amount of time. And especially online, I more so just want an order of activities. So I'm going to be writing in, so first day of school, my kids pop on to Google Meet for the first time, and I've never met them before. So I don't want them to have to introduce themselves to me and start telling me about themselves. I feel like that's kind of intimidating for kids. So instead, I'm gonna start by telling them about myself. So I'm gonna do something that I call mystery bag. This is something I've done every year for the past few years. Typically in the classroom, my students work in groups. Each group has to go find a bag around the room. Inside that bag is an item and it tells them a little bit about me, and they have to try to figure out and make inferences on how that item actually relates to me. So this year we're just gonna do it digitally. I'm gonna have the bag and I'm gonna hold up the items and they're going to use Google Jamboard in order to show how it relates to me. For this, I'm gonna go ahead and list out my 5 items. I always do this toy mouse. So it's a cat toy. And so my kids always go, oh, you have cats. And I'm like, well, yeah, but think deeper. So the mouse is actually missing its tail. And so I always tell them that Luna, you know, doesn't have a tail. I always think it's cute. Next is going to be my lifting belt. This one's always funny because the kids don't know what it's for, but it's a good way for me to tell them that I enjoy powerlifting. Let's see, number 3. I was laying in bed last night and I was making a note of like the items. So let me go ahead and pull that up.
5 hours later.
Oh yeah, okay, so a 26.2 sticker. And that's about marathon running, but it's always interesting because a lot of times the kids don't know what the numbers actually mean. And then I was going to show them my book that I wrote, but I'm just gonna show them the book, and so they'll probably say like, oh, you like to read, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I wrote the book. So that'll be fun. And then number 5 is going to be something with Billy's name on it. I haven't decided what yet, but something that says Emerson, and so that will be that I'm getting married in October. Like, that's the fact about myself that I'm gonna share. So that is done. I'm gonna highlight where I wrote mystery bag, just so I know that's kind of like the title of what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and move down. After that, I want my students to do a scavenger hunt. Do I want to skip lines? I'm gonna try skipping lines, and then if I don't have enough room, I can always move it. Scavenger hunt. They are gonna have 5 minutes to go find an item in their house or wherever they are that represents them in one way, or like a fun fact about themselves. So I'm just gonna put a note to myself that I wanna have a 5-minute timer on the slide. That way I can keep track of the time, and if they get back early, they can see like how much time is left. So that one's easy because I don't really have to, you know, prep anything. Then I need to go over the schedule with students. So we have our like planning time, which is our cultural arts. It's when they go to like art PE, all that, at 9:45, I think. So I'm just gonna put before 9:30, so I have time to like go over it and answer questions before they go to their next class. Then we're gonna kind of go into like some expectations, because obviously with us all being on Google Meet, like I need to set norms. So this is going to be like joining, what the procedures are when they join a Google Meet, and then during the meet. So things like going to the bathroom, which personally I'm fine with them going to the bathroom while I'm on a meet. I mean, I don't want them to interrupt me and tell me they have to go. They're in their houses or their homes or someone's home. You know, I'm fine with them just going to the bathroom. So I'll go over those, you know, expectations that I have. And then, oh, I forgot an S, expectations. And then attention getters, I'm just gonna put that with expectations because I have some ideas for that, which I will share with my first week of school vlog. Okay, then we're gonna go into the code of conduct lessons, which this is something that we have to do every single year. It's kind of like going over the rules and everything with the kids, but it's something that's done district-wide. So we're gonna do the day 1, and it's kind of broken into a read aloud, the day 1 discussion. So there's like questions and stuff that we discuss, and then day 1 activity. There's usually something they create, like a poster or something like that. That's gonna probably get started before lunch and then get finished after, which is totally fine. Then I wanna break up, because this is a lot, so I might even do this kind of in the middle, but I'll just put it underneath. I wanna do this or that. I already made a video all about different like community building activities for virtual, and this or that was one of them. So if you wanna know how that works, you can go back and watch that video, but I will prepare some slides for that. And then I think we're just gonna end with like Google Classroom, so kind of going over like a tutorial for it. I mean, most of these students used it in the spring, so they should be fine, but I'm gonna just say tutorial, so me kind of modeling, and then I wanna give them a practice assignment. And here's what I mean by practice assignment. I want to know how proficient my students are with like Google Slides, because I use that all the time. So actually I'll put Google Slides. All right, so I wanna know, like, do they know how to change font and font size and font color? Do they know how to insert images? Things like that. So I'm gonna give them a practice assignment where it says like, change this font to the color red, change this to size 60. But I'm gonna make it also one of those kind of like following directions activities. So they'll have some different things they have to do along the way, like popping back into our Google Meet and all that. I think that'll be fun. There's my first day of school. I mean, that's basically it. And I have a feeling some of these things will take a lot longer than I think they will. But I feel like it has a good balance of like fun stuff, not so fun stuff, fun stuff, not so fun stuff. I tried to sandwich in some of those activities. Wednesdays are kind of a weird day because our schedule is different on Wednesdays. Our students only have virtual instruction until 11:15. So it's gonna be a smaller chunk of time, which is fine. So typically on Wednesdays, our students would go to cultural arts first, but each of us has one day a week where we don't get cultural arts, and instead we are personally teaching environmental science and computer science, and for me that is Wednesdays. So I'm gonna write, I think we're starting with computer science. So computer science, and we are using code.org. So I'm just gonna say code, I think it's called Code Studio is like the name of the program or whatever. So Code Studio tutorial, and then independent time. So they're just gonna be on working. It's like at their own pace and everything. So they will work until that chunk of time is done. I think it's 45 minutes total. So maybe the tutorial is like 15 minutes and then they have 30 minutes for independent time. Okay, then I want this day to kind of be a fun day because Thursday and Friday, we're gonna kind of do our mock switches, and on Monday, it was a lot of like going over stuff. So I want this to be a lot of just like games and fun stuff. So we're gonna do a virtual locker activity. Typically, our students do have lockers in elementary school, which is weird to me because I never had that as a kid, but whatever. And they, they like to decorate their locker, and usually their name is on it, and they can put pictures on the inside, and they can't do that this year. So it's just gonna be a Google Slides template that I'm gonna push out through Google Classroom, and they're gonna have an opportunity to decorate their own locker. So I'm gonna show an example, then they're gonna have independent time. So after that, I wanna do something that kind of gets them up and moving because that's gonna be a lot of sitting time. So maybe doing a scavenger hunt. Now on the first day, I had them do a specific scavenger hunt for something that represented them. This one's just gonna be a fun scavenger hunt. So things like a sock, an ice cube. I always love to do an ice cube because they're like, wait, what? A plant, a watch, a piece of mail, a hat, a salt shaker, a book, toilet paper, and we'll do headphones. So that'll just get them up and moving. So after that, I'm okay doing kind of a seated activity. We're gonna do a virtual vision board, kind of like the virtual locker. Typically, I have my students create vision boards for the year, kind of set goals, and it allows me to really learn a lot about them based on the goals that they set. So we're just gonna do a virtual one. Again, it's gonna be through Google Slides, and I'm gonna show an example of my vision board, and then it's just gonna be independent time. And I'll be able to pop into their slides. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to write and spell at the same time. Independent, okay. I can pop into their slides and kind of see how it's coming along for them, which I think will be fun. And honestly, I think that will take me well until 11:15. If not, some of that might even end up kind of bleeding over into the next few days, which is okay. Thursday, let's see. So on Thursday, I want to start with some type of a kind of a morning meeting game. We do have a 25-minute chunk of time for morning meeting. We're going to be doing a program called Second Step, but we decided to opt and wait and start that the second week. So we are going to do, we'll do Pictionary. Pictionary is a really easy one. So I'll just kind of share my screen. I will digitally draw some pictures and my students will try to guess it. There's 3 code of conduct lessons. They're doing one on this day and we'll do one Thursday and Friday since Wednesday is kind of that shortened time. So after doing a fun game, we'll go ahead into code of conduct and we will do, let's see, day 2, read aloud. We'll do day 2 discussion and we'll do day 2 activity. And again, I might end up breaking this up because it's a lot of time. I might end up breaking it up with some games and things. So I might end up doing kind of like a fun quizzes with them. I like quizzes because the students can kind of go at their own pace. So it might be a like get to know your teacher type of quizzes, or I might base it on the code of conduct actually. I'm gonna just like draw an arrow to remind me of that. So have them do a quizzes based on what they learned from the code of conduct, but that way it's still something kind of fun. All right, so then I'm gonna put, and this can be another option, I can put it in, in the middle of the code of conduct if needed, turn your camera on. So this is a very simple game. So this is where your students would all start with their cameras off. And obviously if students don't want to participate because they don't want to turn their camera on, that's fine. We're not forcing students to turn their camera on, but this might encourage them to want to have their camera on. You would read a statement such as like, you like to play video games. And if it's true, they're gonna turn their camera on and then they can see which other students they have things in common with. So that one's a lot of fun. And then I'm gonna do the sticky note pictures, which this is another activity that I shared in my classroom community video. So I will link that for you if you wanna check it out. Basically, my students are gonna work in groups and they are going to find things they have in common with each other. And they're gonna use Google Jamboard in order to record the things they have in common on virtual sticky notes. And then they can move the sticky notes around and change the colors of them in order to create a picture. So that should be fun. That will probably take up until that switching time. So I will need to go over the schedule again with them just to make sure they understand because they're gonna be switching for the first time. And then that's gonna bring me to block 2 math. So I'm gonna lasso this and I'm gonna move it up. With these Block 2 math students, I'm gonna be meeting them again for the first time, so I can actually reuse some of the activities I already had for the first day. So actually, I'm just gonna use the lasso. I'm gonna lasso mystery bag and scavenger hunt. I can use both of those. I'm gonna copy it, zoom out, and paste it. Okay, I can just reuse that exact same activity. I'll have them do the scavenger hunt, but I'm thinking, actually, let me zoom out. I like to use this so that it's the same distance out because sometimes my handwriting changes. If I'm super zoomed in and write or zoomed out more, it changes. So I like to always use the zoom tool. But for the scavenger hunt, it's gonna be something that represents them as a math student. So for example, they could do like a plant and say, well, I'm always growing or something like that. Or in this case, it's a fake plant. So you're just faking it till you make it, whatever. It's just a way to kind of connect it to math. Since these are students I will have specifically for math, then I will go ahead over expectations, which again, I can just lasso this and copy it. This is what I love about digital planning. It saves you so much time. I will paste that because I'll need to go over that with them. And honestly, this block 2 math time is only like 45 minutes. That's going to take that whole time. So I'm gonna just leave it there for Thursday, and that takes me until the end of the day. So Thursday is now done. All right, so that brings me to Friday. Let's go ahead and move this up. I wanna start with a fun activity again. I'm gonna do finish the lyrics. So basically I will just play a song like through my phone so they can hear it through the speaker, and I'll pause it, obviously a kid-friendly song, and they will have to type what they think the next lyrics are in the chat. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and do code of conduct, day 3. All right, so again, I'm gonna highlight, and this is going to be day 3 read aloud, day 3 discussion, and day 3 activity. And then at this point, because we've had a week together as a class, I feel like this is a good time to do a class community agreement. This is also something that I talked about in that previous video. Basically, it's the kids coming up with a agreement with a set of kind of norms for the class that they're going to follow, things that they are agreeing to. And after doing all 3 code of conduct lessons, I feel like that's a really good time to do that. And I'm just going to do it virtually through Google Slides, and I'm just going to type their thoughts in, and then slides and then I will save it as an image and post it on Google Classroom where they can all see it. After that, I want to do another fun activity. I'm going to do another quizzes because I love quizzes and I plan on using it a lot, so I want them to be familiar with how it works. But this one will be like, how well do you know Miss Ferré? So it'll be questions about me that they should have learned throughout the week. And I don't know, that might end up taking that whole time before block 2, but just in case, I want to do a student survey. So this is kind of for me to get to know them as a student, but also as a person. Like, what subjects do they like? What do they find difficult in school? What's easy for them? But also like their hobbies or interests, all of that. I don't like to do that on the first day because I feel like students are kind of still not wanting to open up, or at least some students are, but by the time you get to the end of the week, you kind of know each other better, and I feel like it's a good chance to do that. So this is going to be through a Google form that I will push out to them and have them complete. So that brings me to that block 2 time. So I'm going to circle and move it up. Okay, so with my block 2 math, let me zoom in like this again. I'm gonna go ahead and start with a fun activity again. It's Friday. We'll do finish the lyrics, same as the morning group. So it's nothing extra for me to prep. We will go ahead and do that same quizzes. I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm gonna have them do the same quizzes, and I'm gonna have them do the same student survey. So I'm just going to lasso this, copy and paste. Okay, so we're gonna do the quizzes, do the student survey. And honestly, again, I feel like that's probably gonna take most of that time. If I need to, I can supplement with like the turn your camera on game or the this or that game that they haven't had a chance to play with, since this is a different group of kids. But otherwise, that's basically it. I mean, I'm doing a lot of games and things. I really want to just have my students engaged because I feel like a lot of them in the spring were not engaged in online learning because it wasn't a lot of live instruction. And so I want to just get them used to the live instruction and get to know them. And yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm happy with that. I might end up reevaluating like after Wednesday, depending on how things are going. I might have to move things around, but otherwise, there we go. That is my first week of school virtual teaching. So that was it. That's my first week of school. I mean, we'll see how it actually goes. I am gonna do my best to try to vlog my first week of school, and I will have that video up for you all next week. So if you enjoyed this one and you're anxious to see how the plans actually work out, please give the video a thumbs up. Share it out with your teacher friends, and I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss any future videos. Again, if you are interested in grabbing our digital teacher planner, the link is down in the description box. As always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one.